Okay, we're rolling.
Again, I'm going to show you a tour of my wood shop today. So just take a look at what we have, what I have around, and then I'll show you the main project that I want to talk to you about, my belt sander.
Okay.
Okay, this project here is something that I find in a magazine, and the design was made, everything was made with MDF, and I didn't like the MDF, so I went with hardwood, and to make sure that it was not gonna warp or be very stable, I laminated 3 layers of hardwood crisscrossing each other. So to make sure that all the pieces stay straight. I've been using it for 2.5 years now, and it's still in very good shape, very steady. One thing that I had a little bit of problem when I build is the carriage part, because it's very tricky pieces, because in order to be able to put the belt on that, you need to be able to close the table and open it again, so it's very hard to do. And I'll show you the adjustment part on the inside here. That's where you close the table and open it again to adjust. The plan was to do that, to make adjustment for the tracking of the belt, but because it's not turning fast, the belt doesn't track, it stays on one side or the other, but it's not a problem because it's turning so slow, so it doesn't wear anything. The other part that I had a lot of work to do is to build the drum. This is made of MDF 3/4 of an inch, all cut into 5 inch, that I put on a shaft. And there's 2 pins in the center that locks the whole thing so it doesn't turn on the shaft. And then to make it perfectly round, I use the table, put a piece of plywood here on top with heavy sandpaper. Then I had the drum turning, and I would lift the table so that the sandpaper would touch underneath here, and as it turned, it makes the table perfectly
Your cylinder.
drum, perfectly around. It took me 14 hours to sand that so that it was going to be perfect, but now it's working good. To hold the paper in place, if you look here closely, you're going to see this little wedge. That's what holds the paper in there. You just cut the paper on an angle, and then the paper is 3 inches wide. You just roll it on the drum, and then you got the same thing at the other end. That locks the paper inside with that screw in there, so that holds the paper good. And that kind of paper has a little cushion underneath, so it make it better work better. This is the part of the cover where I hook my dust collection system so that I don't have any dust flying in the wood shop all over. And I run that with an old motor that I got from a friend. It's an old 1 horsepower motor. It's about 75 years old. And I didn't have time to put the switch on it, so I'm just going to plug that to show you how it works. It starts direct. It's not the...
Yeah.
And you can see the drum running. And I'm gonna go start the dust collector so we won't have any dust. To make the adjustment for the height, I use this part, so that adjusts the table up and down. Then we'll put the piece of wood through. I gotta be careful not to stop, Because if I start, the drum is going to make a hole into the wood, but the drum will never stop bending. My next project is to put a motor on the belt, so it's going to feed very smoothly, always at the same speed. It makes a nice smooth finish, but this is not a planer. It's only to sand the top part of it, so it's better to make 2 or 3 passes instead of putting too much pressure on the paper. So if I have 2, I'll make 2 or 3 passes. It looks good. And because I have the collection system on it, so you can see there's no dust in there. And just a little bit of dust that stays on the belt to finish. And that's it. This is my baby.